You were yelling at me about this via text the other day because I have LSU down at 15 and you have them at 5. And you're ready to believe in LSU as a playoff team. I'm saying I think they did well in the portal, but I need to see that the defense is better on the field before I can believe it. So what makes you believe?
Well, first of all, a team this loaded from a talent perspective who might actually have the best quarterback in the country. We don't talk about it because it's not as sexy as DJ Lagway and Lenore Sellers and Cade Klubnik and all the other names out there. But like Garrett Nussmeier, in theory, could be the number one quarterback taken in next year's draft. No.
That's definitely possible. And Garrett Nussmeier is coming off a good year. And we've seen several examples, specifically at LSU, of quarterbacks who had pretty good first years at starter and then jumped to amazing in year 2 as a starter.
Yeah. And they did the thing that I thought that they were slow to do, which is go all in on the portal. So when you actually look pound for pound what LSU is from a physical standpoint in the recruiting aspect, they do really well. Like Brian Kelly has done a good job in keeping the Louisiana players home. They've recruited very well, and they've supplemented their roster in a way they have not done yet. And the hope is for them that they'll figure out their defense, because their defense was terrible 2 years ago, much better last year. And it takes another step forward. And by all accounts, Brian Kelly's a good football coach. You might not like him, but they're productive. So, like, to me, like, where do people think that LSU should be? Like 14? That's insane. They have the 5th best roster probably in college football right now.
Are you sure about their offensive line as they lose a first-round tackle, a 3-year starter at tackle, multiple-year starters at guard? Like, are you sure?
I don't know that I'm absolutely sure, but they also brought in a few guys to help supplement that position. So,
well, and what's interesting to me is they brought in some guys, but it might be the homegrown guys that went out and win the jobs.
And the other thing, too, is that you have to acknowledge, too, that we're not talking about a team that doesn't traditionally load its roster. We're talking about a team that still is predominantly heavy in high school recruiting. And when LSU has high school recruits coming up, there are players on this team that might not make the Athlon magazine that are going to be really good this year because they've
this is where I might be wrong, because like DJ Pickett is a good example of this. 5-star corner, Zephyr Hills, Florida. It used to be that LSU had a guy like this in the freshman class every single year. Some freak who was going to start day 1 at corner and was going to play there for 3 years and be a first-round draft pick. They've not had that in the Brian Kelly era at all. DJ Pickett may be the first of that. If they're back to that, then I will believe.
And then if you want to,
that's another one I need to see.
You have him join in the secondary with AJ Halsey, who was an all Big 12 safety at Houston last year.
Correct.
Like they have just got there, their number one weaknesses, which is stopping the ball. So, like, I just think that from a talent perspective, a coaching pedigree perspective, and listen, I know that he's not the most likable person in the world, but I trust that he'll have his team ready. And the fact that this is one of the how many of the teams in the top 10 are even homegrown high school recruiting outfits? I guess half. But like they are really, really, really talented. And like, I don't know, LSU has been down the last few years, but are we in the camp that LSU doesn't have it in the tank to be in the SEC championship hunt this year?
No, they
is it
can.
Insane to have them at 5? Like, people went freaking out about that. Where should they be?
They can, but here's the thing. There's a good chance that by week 4, the sky's falling there. Because you've got another team that they play. Well, you've got 2 teams they play. One you have ranked above them, and one you have ranked not far below them. That's Clemson and Florida. So it's a razor's edge here for LSU because the schedule is very hard. They've got Clemson, they've got Florida, Ole Miss, South Carolina, who you and I both think are going to be very good. Alabama, obviously. Texas A&M, the agents of chaos. And you think Oklahoma is going to be good too. So it's not just that they've got to be talented. The single most comfortable garment I own. I got about 7 of these. 3 of them have been stolen by my daughter permanently. I'm telling you right now, when you order your Rowback, when you order your performance hoodies, your joggers, your polos, get a couple of these because someone is going to steal one. But polos, Q-zips, joggers, T-shirts, shorts, they got it all. Ready for summer, ready for the bar, ready for the golf course, ready for the office, you name it. So go to rhoback.com. That's RHOBACK.com. Use the code Andy for 20% off your first order. That's a hell of a deal. RHOBACK.com. Code Andy, 20% off. Load up. It's time. That talent has to be deployed correctly a lot of the time. Like they are going to have very few games where they can just roll their helmets out and be better than the other team.
But there's also not a single game on that schedule, including Clemson, who I think is a kind of a good dark horse odds wise to win the national title this year, like where they're not going to be able to win. So this is where I'm at on Florida and Auburn too. By the way, that's why I'm so high on Florida and Auburn, because I feel the same way about that. Yeah, I think that they got a little boned on the schedule. they have to.
LSU did, yeah, I'd say so.
I mean, their biggest games are all on the road. I mean, Ole Miss, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Clemson are all on the road.
They get Florida at home. They do get Florida
at home. But like, I'm not viewing Florida in the same light. And maybe I should, because I have them pretty high up on my list as like. I
was gonna say you have them ranked ahead of Ole Miss, and you have them ranked ahead of South Carolina or below South Carolina.
I need to like revert my brain back to Florida. Yeah, but it's a tough schedule, and they might. But I think LSU could be 10-2 and number 5 at the end of the year too. Like it's a new world, guys. Like it's not 10-2 in that against that schedule is a bona fide playoff team, and maybe a team that's playing. For
10-2 against that schedule. We're not arguing about whether you're getting in.
It doesn't matter. Like I have an LSU buddy who texted me. He was like, "I cannot believe we finally are going to be good for the first time in 4 years, and we got to open on the road at Clemson." I'm like, well, it's fun. Doesn't matter. This is a regular season. Isn't as high stakes anymore?
Yeah, you can lose the Clemson game. But I think if you lose the Clemson game, don't lose the Florida game.
As long as you're 3-1 at the end of that stretch, I think you're in a pretty good spot. And like I put them high up on the list because I wanted to have a paper trail of buying into a team that I think might be lightning in a bottle this year.
I think that's if you're going to make that pick, if you're going to decide that's the one I'm going to put up there, I think you went with one of the safer bets.
I just think that they've got a good roster. How it comes together, I don't know, but I really do think that the real path in the cooking of a great team is homegrown high school talent supplemented by awesome portal pickups that you can plug in weaknesses. And I think that's what LSU has done. Like LSU they're not quite Ohio State last year, but it's the same type of idea. And I like that about them.
Except they don't have a bunch of guys coming back who would be starters in the NFL this year.
Yeah, they don't have Jack Sawyer coming back. I get it. I'm saying
or JT Tuimoloau or Denzel Burke.
Huge.
Or
I said it's not quite Ohio State. No one's Ohio State.
Tyleik Williams.
That they have.
I could go on.
Oh, by the way, can we have a 30-second off conversation about this too? What are our expectations for Harold Perkins?
That's a great question, because that I think could make a huge difference if Harold Perkins is the Harold Perkins he was as a freshman.
Yeah.
Good question.
I bought a bunch of Harold Perkins cars.
I'm excited to see what they do with him, because if they just make it see ball, get ball, he was a terror his freshman year.
I thought he was the best player in college football potentially his freshman year. I don't know what happened, injury and
he got hurt last year, but they also were messing around with the role and weren't sure exactly how best to use him.
I don't know.
I think they've decided let him cook.
I didn't go to medical school, but I would just be like, what did he do freshman year? Let's just do that again.
Yeah. That part where he single-handedly won the Arkansas game, do that, please.
Yeah.